Welcome back, everyone, to another Touchdowns to Home Runs. I hope you guys are all having a great holiday so far. I'm filming this video right now on December 26th, so yesterday was Christmas. Hope you guys all had an amazing day. But on December the 30th, New Year's Eve, we have an amazing bowl game. Definitely one of the bowl games that I am looking forward to the most. And of course, I am talking about the Cotton Bowl. The Florida Gators take on the Oklahoma Sooners in what should be an amazing game. I cannot wait to watch this one. This game is going to be amazing. And in this video, I just want to break it down, give you guys my prediction, because out of all the games, college bowl games, I think that this one will be the closest and be the most intriguing. Maybe you take in the national championship. Guessing, if I had to make an educated guess right now, guessing that that's going to be Alabama versus Clemson. That might be the best game, but other than that, you look at all the other bowl games, you got, who else do you got? You got Cincinnati, Georgia for New Year's 6. You got Iowa State, Oregon. You have North Carolina, Texas A&M. You have Florida, Oklahoma, and then you got the two playoff games, which is Alabama, Notre Dame, and then Clemson, Ohio State. You look at those 6 games right there. In my opinion, no game catches your eye like Florida versus Oklahoma does. These are two teams. Oklahoma's coming off a very, very hot streak. Florida came off one of their best games of the season, though they did lose. It was to the number 1 team in the nation, the best team in the country in Alabama. They made that game very, very close. So this game is going to be a very, very intriguing game, and I cannot wait to get you guys my predictions. Just before we get into that, guys, I'm holding a sale on my store, and you know I got a ton of Florida Gators merch on there, including my brand new Gator head design. So use code Christmas for 10% off. I know it's not a huge deal, but the prices are already so low. Like the t-shirts originally are only $15. I got Kyle for Heisman shirts. I got the East is Ours shirts. I got just the logo shirts. Go take advantage of that, Florida Gators fans. You guys have shown me great support so far. So definitely keep getting that. I would appreciate it so much. And you guys are going to look amazing walking around Gainesville or wherever it is you come from wearing that Gator merch. Let's get into this game. Florida versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma, the Big 12 champions. Florida Gators, the SEC runners-up in the SEC championship. Obviously, the SEC East champions, after taking a break for a while, they're able to top the Georgia Bulldogs this year, which I thought was amazing. I'm a Gamecocks fan. I don't like my Georgia Bulldogs, and I was rooting for the Gators for the majority of the season. Of course, not against South Carolina, but I did want to see Florida do well because I did pick them at the beginning of the season to win, and that they did do. So this game is going to be amazing. First off the bat, I'm pretty sure I heard Kyle Pitts opted out in this game, which is already a huge blow to Florida because that guy is one of my favorite players in all of college football. He was one of the most fun guys to watch all this season. Like, you look at the guys who were really fun for me to watch this season. You look at Devontae Smith. I'd put Kyle Trask up there. I loved watching Kyle Trask. Mac Jones. Najee Harris is a guy that I really loved watching. Kevin Harris, obviously my Gamecock, who led the SEC regular season in rushing. Kevin Harris is an absolute beast. Who else would be up there for my favorite players this season? Seth Williams, loved watching him. And then, obviously, I'd have Kyle Pitts up there. Like, that guy was so much fun to watch this season. Definitely going to be the first tight end off the board. He is going to be amazing wherever he goes. I've seen a lot of mock drafts, too. Dallas, I've seen him to the Chargers because they're going to have to replace Hunter Henry, I think, at the end of this season. I personally think that he would be an amazing fit for the Carolina Panthers. That would be a huge spot depending on what they do in the draft because, in my opinion, Carolina, they could take Pitts at 8 or 7 or wherever they're going to fall up in the draft. And then this QB stock is so stacked that you could wait till the second round to get your quarterback. And maybe that might even be Kyle Trask because I've seen Kyle Trask get so disrespected in all these mock drafts where he's not even going in the first round. So in my opinion there, just sit back if you're the Panthers, get Trask and Pitts, and you'll be set for offense for the rest of it. You got McCaffrey, you got DJ Moore, you got Curtis Samuel, you got Robbie Anderson, you got Mike Davis. Now you have Pitts and Trask. Even though I think Teddy Bridgewater is amazing, it looks like the Panthers want a new QB. That team is going to be very, very good. So that's just my little rant on Kyle Pitts and him opting out because that's going to be a huge blow for Florida. But Florida, right now, from what I've heard, they still got Trask, they still got Kadarius Toney, they still got Pierce, they still got Grimes. They still got Copeland. They still got all those guys who are still very, very key factors to this offense for the Florida Gators, especially Kadarius Toney. That guy is another really, really fun player to watch. He's more of your athletic style wide receiver. He's not the guy that's going to obviously be like I hate using this example, but DK Metcalf. I'm not a big DK Metcalf fan at all. But Kadarius Toney kind of reminds me of the guy who I'm wearing on my jersey right now, Deebo Samuel, who's just a guy who makes plays with his feet, and he's just such a fun and electric player to watch. So that's who Kadarius Toney reminds me of. Let's move on to the Oklahoma Sooners, because Oklahoma started out the season rough. I remember watching the game the first week of SEC football. Obviously, Oklahoma goes on to play the Kansas State Wildcats, who they did drop to last season, and they drop another game to them. I think Oklahoma was like 4th or 3rd in the country at that time. They obviously drop out. They drop way back in the AP. Then a couple weeks later, I think they go and drop to Iowa State. So off the board, you got 2 big losses for Oklahoma, but they have been able to climb back, not losing a single game since that Iowa State game, and they have found themselves at the number 6 spot in the college football rankings. So we got 7 versus 6 coming up in this game. Obviously, Spencer Rattler, the beginning of the season was rough for him. Obviously, he's the number 1 QB in his class. Lots and lots of high talk about him. He's still a good quarterback. He showed that as the season went on. He finished the season with 2,784 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You got Stevenson leading in rushing with 479 yards, 6 touchdowns, 83 carries. And then Mims leading in receiving with 36 receptions for 583 yards, 8 touchdowns. Those are some pretty good numbers, obviously. Big 12, you're going to have some pretty big offensive numbers. But if we look at the leaders for the Florida Gators offensive side of the ball, Kadarius Toney, 70 receptions, 984 yards, 10 touchdowns. You got Dameon Pierce, 95 carries for 443 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Trask, 4,125 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Kyle Trask, what a season it's been for him. What a season it's been for Kadarius Toney. Florida's rushing game has been weak because they are a very one-dimensional offense. And we know that their whole game is based around their passing game. They would be a really, really good team if they could get some more help from the rushing game. Now, that's not really a shot at Florida Gator fans because I feel like they feel the same way. If they were able to get a really, really good established rushing game going, this offense would be, I think they might have a chance to top Alabama as the best offense in the nation. But you look at Alabama, what they had, Najee Harris that game in the SEC Championship absolutely carried them. 5 touchdowns. He was amazing receiving out of the backfield. Rushing, he was just a pinball machine the whole game. No one could get him down. Like, Florida was getting to the football. They just could not get Najee Harris down and kept allowing him to get more yak yards after contact. He was an amazing player that game. So Florida's defense, I think the defense for both of these teams is the bit of a concern because Florida's defense, they let up a lot to Alabama, who is the better team, like the best offense in all of college football. Their defense has been their weak spot all season, but against Oklahoma, what's Oklahoma done defensively? I think they've got progressively better as the season has gone on defense because you look at the first couple games, excluding Missouri State because obviously they shut them out, but that doesn't really count. You look at the Big 12 games, let up 35, 30, 45, and then you get into the second half, starting off with TCU, they let up 14, 28, 9, 13, 14, 21. So those are some really good numbers. This Oklahoma defense has got progressively better. So the defense for the Oklahoma side of the ball is going to be key. They're going to need to step up to be able to force this Gators defense to get some turnovers or whatever you got to do because this Gators team, I'm telling you, can put up some crooked numbers on the scoreboard. They are very, very good at that. Let's look at the ESPN. This is something that I've really been doing over my last videos because I love looking at this, the ESPN matchup predictor. And these are 2 very interesting. This is the most interesting statistics that I've seen with this whole matchup predictor because you got for the matchup predictor on ESPN, according to the Power Index, 57.3% chance Oklahoma wins and 42.7% chance that Florida wins. And then you look at the spread. Florida's favored by 3 right now, and Oklahoma's +3, and the over-under is 71.5. Obviously, this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I'm pretty sure the Alabama-Florida game was at 74 or 73.5, and now you got this one up there again. We're expecting a very high-scoring game from Jerry's World in Dallas, and I think that that's what's going to happen, or technically Arlington. I'm sorry for all of you that want me to be technical about that. But the consensus pick right now, 60% of people have picked OU right now, so who's going to be my pick? From watching this Florida Gators team all season, yes, that game against LSU was terrible, not a good game. But other than that game, this Florida team has been very, very, very solid all season. And I feel like for a season for them that had so much high expectation and that had them so close to making the playoff at some points, For them to finish 8-4, I just don't see it happening. Like, I feel like this Florida Gators team is going to come out angry after the last 2 games, which they've lost consecutive. They've dropped 2 games in a row. I feel like this Gators team is going to come out very angry. That offense is just going to be on fire the whole game. Dan Mullen's going to have his team ready for this game. And even though I love the Sooners, I love Lincoln Riley, I think that Trask is the better quarterback in this game at this time, because Rattler still has a lot to go through to become an elite level quarterback. Yes, he's a very good quarterback, but this is still technically it's his sophomore year, but this was his first year getting meaningful snaps. So Kyle Trask, I feel like, outplays Spencer Rattler. I feel like this Florida offense in general will play better than Oklahoma's, and I feel like the Gators will get just enough stops to be able to stop Oklahoma and get the ball back into Trask's hands. So I am picking the Florida Gators in this game. I know I shouldn't do this because I'm a Gamecocks fan, but jump on. Whatever you got to do, I'm picking the Gators. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe, and thank you for watching, and come back next time.